We have some figures of cruise tourism and stayover tourism till September 2020. And how devastating was the COVID-19 so far for the tourism of Curacao compared to the previous years. If you want to know that, and if you are interested in data analysis and policy, then stay with me in this episode. Hi, my name is Rooney Calmera, and this is the Data Analysis and Policy Show, the show where we turn data into analysis so that you can create the right policies. You can write the right policies. And if this is the first time here, we're doing something great. We are looking every day right now. We are looking at data, and today we will start another series. We will start analyzing the data because look at the previous episodes. We showed that there is a lot of data for the Eastern Caribbean, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, and Curacao. And now we're going to analyze the data more in detail so that we can debunk the myth that there is no data, there is no analysis possible. Now, I am creating something really great. And if you want to know more about it when it is released, then I want you to go to CaribbeanStrategicBoardroom.com/waitlist and raise your finger, raise your hand. That means that when you join that community of high achievers, of people thinking strategically about economic issues in the Caribbean, then when you join that, you raise your fingers that you want to be notified. Now, let's move to something great. Now, the data is in, so we're going to dive into the data of Curacao up till September for cruise tourism and stayover tourism. And I'm going to show you a little bit of my process of analysis. A little bit of my process. So now you have all the data. Look at the previous episodes for different kind of data that we analyzed. And now we're going to show you a little bit of my analytical process. Because there is a process. Once you get the data, you have to analyze it. And the third part is, of course, write a policy, create a presentation, so that you can be seen as the trusted advisor. You can be paying more, you can be getting a higher paycheck when you do these kind of things. Now, so what's the issue? The first step is the data, and I'm going to show you a source of data, which is for Curacao, that is the tourism board. So let me go there and let me show you my screen. Okay, beautiful website, CuraçaoTouristBoard.com. This is the website about tourism, but I'm interested in the business intelligence. So when you click on business intelligence, they have a great data warehouse with data, and you see here the visitor arrivals. So you see here visitor arrivals, and in that visitor arrivals you will also find the cruise and stayover. And you have quarterly reports, of course, but I am more an annual reports, but I'm also more interested in the monthly data. So that's the first step, getting the data, and I've shown you many sources of data where you can get the data. Now, I'm going a little bit further. So let's download this September arrivals. We download it, and you see this is the format. It's a PDF, and you will see here, for instance, that the total in September, the total stayover, so the people who stay in Curacao, 10,418. And also you see here how it is the year to date. This is the year to date, so it is up till September. We have received 137,699 tourists. So how much is it compared to the previous? Now let's do the analysis. How much is it? It is 60% lower, 60% lower than the previous year, because here you will see the change compared to the previous year. Okay, that's the first one. And here you see, of course, the breakdown of North America, South America, Caribbean, and Europe. And you see here that basically the deepest North America, the Caribbean has dropped with 70% compared to it has dropped to 70% compared to the previous I think it is the previous month, and this is the total 70%. This might be the year to date, and Europe has dropped with 56%, etc. So here you see the breakdown per region. Okay, and then you have to follow these regions, of course. What is happening in North America? I've already told you in an episode that we are monitoring United States, especially. There's also Canada, because once you have this data in here, you have to monitor the Caribbean, the European European region. What is happening there? Because that is the driver of our tourism. You have to monitor Canada. In the Europe, Netherlands is the most important country. In North America, United States is the most important country. So here you see the breakdown of the nights, because these people, they stay a couple of nights, and then you see here at the bottom, you see the cruise arrivals and the day trippers. So day trippers might be people with they stay 1 day, and the cruise, they often say 1 day only. So in September, no cruise, 29 day trippers, and stay over 10,418. So this is this data. But as I have to tell you, let me show you, go to my screenshot. This data is in PDF. The second step is you have to have a model to analyze this data. And the model is the fastest way to analyze the data in more detail. Once you have a model, a spreadsheet model, it is the fastest and the easiest way to analyze the data in more detail. I'm going to show you one of my models, and this is a special model for tourism. So what it does is we take all the data which we have here, the most important data, and we put it in our spreadsheet model, and with that model we can analyze the past. We can go much more deeper and analyze the past. So let me show you my screen demo. Go to my screen again, and now I'm going to the model. Look at this. It might sound a lot of many people might say like it's very, very difficult, but a spreadsheet is the easiest way to analyze the data. Now, what have I done for you? What you see here is you see the data, and we are here in the stayover data, and I have, look at the first one. What you see here is everything which is this gray is the data that I have put in for the past years. Yeah. So the data, the gray part, we have data here. How is it? How is the spreadsheet model built up? We have the data 2002 till 2020, and we have the data for January, February, March, April, May, June, etc. These are monthly data. So we have, these are all the January, the people, the stayover tourists, we came here in January. In January 2002, there were 18,721 23 persons. And it went up to 45,691. So in the data of the tourism Caribbean of the tourism board, you will not be able to see this, do this analysis. You understand? If you only have the data, the raw data, you will not be able to do this analysis. But because I have a model, a spreadsheet model here, and to analyze the monthly data in detail, I can already see, like, hey, in 2002 there were 18,723, and this went up to 45,691. So we have been doing a great job in the first month. Also, second month, again, it went from 2002, it went from 18,549 till 44,000, okay? And then the same thing. So if I want to calculate the first quarter of 2002, then I have to check these data, add them up, and that is the sum is 57,468 people came in the first quarter in 2002, which is 18 years ago. You see? So this is a great tool, great instrument, a model to analyze. Now, here you see, if we take this, you see that in the first quarter of 2020, we had 108,488 people. So we add these things up. How does that compare to the years, the previous years? Is this good or is this bad? How much did we grow compared to the previous year, and to the year before, and to the year before, in the first quarter only? Let's look at that. So we go to the right, and here I have shown you the change in quarter one. What is this change in quarter one? The change in quarter one, this means that compared to the first quarter of 2019, we have decreased with 15%. So in 2020, this year, we have decreased 15% compared to the previous year. How does it work? You see the formula here. You see I can check this, and you see this is the total of the first quarter and the total of the first quarter in 2019 compared to 2020. So we have decreased with 15% in the first quarter of 2020. Now, if you are in a tourism bureau, or if you are concerned with tourism, you want to know, is this a bad year for the first quarter or not? Let's look. We see that in 2019 we went 15% in the first quarter. So we are comparing 2018 and 2019. We grew at 15%. So in which year did we drop with 15% in the first quarter? You see here around in 2017. In 2017, we dropped also 14%. So, and let's look at the past. So you see we have never dropped that much. So in 2017 was the only year in the past 18 years that we dropped with 15%. But there were also good years, better years. Look at this year. In 2008, we grew with 38% in 2008. You see? So, because we are analyzing the data, 2008 what was one of the top years in the first quarter. And for stay over tourists, we reached 38%. So we need to analyze 2008. What did we do there? What strategies did we have? What projects did we have? What marketing did we have that we grew so much? Okay, so that's in 2008. And you see the figures here. In 2008, you see, we grew considerably compared to 2007. So something happened there. Something happened there that we did a great job in there. So we already see that 2008 was a special year with a huge growth in the first year, in the first quarter, and that in 2017 we had the similar situation. So in 2017 we had the same similar situation with COVID. Now let's look at the second quarter. The second quarter. Now, what is happening in the second quarter? In the second quarter, January, February, March, April, May, June. You see here that everything dropped. Everything dropped. Let me see. Let me show you because it's behind me. Let's put it there. You see that everything dropped. Everything dropped. So we were having, let's say, 40,000 people in April, 36,000 people in April in 2019, and 33,000 in April in June 2019. And suddenly we lost all these people, and we were about nothing, 500 people. Now, this is not a coincidence. This is my estimate, my calculation, because I have put some, I have analyzed that data, and I have estimated that these were about the people that were there. Okay, I'm not going too much into detail in there, but this is the estimate. Why is it an estimate? Because it's green. Okay, so you see, this is raw data, and this is green, which is an estimate. So we have data for July, August, and September, and then for the future, October, November, December. We don't know yet, but this is my estimate for October, November, December. But let's look at what happened in the second quarter. So look at that, a whopping 99% decrease in the second quarter compared to the previous year. So that has never, if you look back here, that has never happened before in the last 18 years. We were having some drops. Maybe we had a drop around here in 2010. You see here, 2010, we had a drop of 12%, and then we had a drop of 7% in the second quarter in 2005, but we never had a 99% drop. So this is total stop actually of the stay over tourists in the second quarter. Okay, so it happened in the second quarter. You see, it happened in the second quarter. So this has never been done before, and we can prove it. We can prove it based on the data. Now let's look at the third quarter, which is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. These are the third quarter, and look at the third quarter because we have data till September. 74% in the third quarter, and the third quarter data, we see it here. You see here in third quarter, which is the data, we dropped to about 8,195, 9,000, and 10,000. It is growing a little bit, but it is around 10,000. It is around 10,000. Okay, it's growing a little bit, but this is considerably lower than what we had normally in July, which is July, August, September, which is 37,000 people, 39,000 people, 33,000 people. Okay, you see here that August is actually one of our highest peaks, because let me see, August here, and then around November, December, it starts again. Now November, December, the peak is going up again normally. Okay, so August, these July and August are high months, and then we have October, November, December. So this is also telling you what is the seasonality, what is when are we getting most people? When are we getting most people during the months? Also very important for preparation, also very important for planning forward, also very important for planning the activities. This is what analysis is showing you. Okay, so are you already seeing that analysis when you analyze the data in an economic model that I'm showing you right now, that you can already make much more informed decisions about the data? You can analyze the past, you can compare it to the same periods before, and you can see patterns. That is what I wanted to show you today, with going beyond only gathering data, collecting data, but now moving to the analysis. So going back to the data. So this is the data. So what we see in the quarter, the second quarter, 99%, and in the third quarter, 74%. Now, what is the total number that is going to happen maybe for 2020? How much is it going to drop in 2020? Of course, we don't have data of October, November, December. We don't have data for October, November, December, because the latest data which we have is September. But in an economic model, you can use it to forecast. You can use it to make assumptions on what is going to happen in future months or future years. And that is the power of an economic model. The power of economic model is you can forecast the data, you can make some assumptions, and you can see what it will happen. So I'm not saying I'm predicting the future. I am just looking. Right now it is September 2020. We have the pattern of the past. We have the pattern of previous months. We have patterns of previous months here for October, November, December, for all the previous years. And we want to know what is going to happen October, November, December. This is the power of a macroeconomic model. This is the power of a model. This is not a macroeconomic model, but it is a model that we created. And now we're going to forecast the data. So our goal is to show you what will be the total decline or increase in stayover in 2020. What is potential? Now, I have made an assumption here on the figures. These are green figures, so that's an assumption. You already know that these data were data that I created. It's based on an assumption that the same pattern of 2010, now of September, that's like about 10,000, that is going to happen in the rest of the month. So this is a formula here, and this formula takes the previous years, it takes the 5 previous years, and it adjusts them with a factor. So also this formula here in the green, it takes the average of the previous 5 years in the same month, November, and it gives them a factor, and this factor is, I've put a negative minus 70 in there because it is lower. There is a significant thing which is happening. So I don't believe that it is the average of the last 5 years. I believe that it is the average, but I need to make a correction in there, negative correction. So when you do that, you have now an estimate of 2000 October, November, December. And when you take this estimate with you, you will see that the total number is 172 611. So last year we had 460,000. In 2019 we had 63,652 stayover tourists. But now the best estimate we can have right now is it's going to be about 172,000. That is a significant drop. And that's based on figures we have till September, and the last 3 months we're going to forecast them. So what does it mean? This was the number last year. This is the forecasted number. So we have a 72%. This formula here is calculated based on those two numbers. It is a 62.8%. So if the Minister of Finance or the Prime Minister, Mr. Eugène Ruggenaat, or the Minister of Economic Development, if they come to me right now, and I'm advising a lot of policy advisors, policy makers, if they come to me right now and they say, what is the best number you will have on the stayover tourist, I will say this is about 172,000, and it is a drop of 62.8% compared to previous year. So that's a significant. Has this ever happened before for the whole year? You see here the patterns of the last years, and you see the worst we have had is actually for the whole year is in 2017, because in 2017 we had a drop of 9.6%. So we have never ever had before minus 62% for the whole year. You see here how the model helps you calculate this. Without the model, I could not have done this so quickly. It is the easiest and fastest way to make calculations. You update the data in here, and the fastest way to get to a quick analysis of the economy. And of course, we are going to use this information. I can use this information for my macroeconomic model of Curacao to do an analysis what will happen for 2020 if we drop the stayover tourist with 62.8%. You see? And then how much deficit will we create? How big will be the debt? How many people will lose their jobs based on this information? And we can also make a projection of the next year, etc. So this is a significant drop, and it will take a lot of time actually to recover, because look at what happened in the past. So what was the best year that we had in the last 18 years? The best year was again 2007, because then our stayover tourists, they grew with 29%. Look at this data. I can base this data based on facts. So there was one of the biggest jumps upwards. And then we also had, like we had here in 2009, it was minus 10%. That was the worst year in the last 18 years. In 2009, it was minus 10.3%, and now this 2017 was also a bad year, and then we had, this is the worst year ever in the last 18 years. So that's the information. And now I can say that with this projection, with this estimate, it will probably lead to a decrease of 70% in the last quarter. So we had 74%, and that's going to be 70% in the last quarter. Now, of course, if something happens that we have a solution for the corona, or we open up, then we could improve these numbers. But this is my projection, my estimate right now. Now, we don't have only stay over tourists, but we have the same sheet, the same model, but now for cruise tourists. Let's take a quick look, because now you understand the model. So we go back. Now you understand the model, and you see that the model is the fastest way to analyze the economy. In this case, we are analyzing cruise and stay over. And now we're going for cruise. We already have seen the model for stay over. And once you have a model for stay over, you can use that model for cruise. So let's look at the cruise data right now. Let's look at the cruise. We're going back. So this is the model for the cruise. So look at the numbers. So again, we have here 2020, January, February, March. And then we had, so we were having January, February, March. Our cruise was about 58,000 in January 2002, and it grew to 125,130 in 2020. That is a huge, that's more than, I think it's about doubling. So in 18 years, we were able to double our cruise. And why did we do that? Because we had a cruise pier, we had a second cruise pier, etc. So you see from here on, this data is growing a lot. And from here on, 2017 also, we had a big jump here in the first quarter. So what was happening? The cruise, they started dropping in March. They started dropping in March, because in March we were expecting about 77,000 compared in the 2019, and now it went to 42,000. And then we had no cruise in April, May, June, and then we had 129 people in July. August we had 54 people, 29. So these are basically, there is no cruise. The whole season was gone. So here you see already that the whole season is gone. And again, based on the estimates, I made a projection that it's going to be low for the next 3 months. So let's look at the quarters. The first quarter actually was not that impressive, because the first quarter we only declined with 5%. So that was not a big issue. It was not normal. It was not not normal. And we had, for instance, in 2015 we had a minus 22% drop in the first quarter. In 2010 we had a 19% drop in the first quarter. In 2004 we had a 37% drop in the first quarter. So this quarter of corona crisis, the first quarter was not a bad quarter at all. It was not positive, but it was not exceptional. The highest quarter which we had was in 2005. In 2005 we had a 47% percent increase. Now let's look at another. Here we see also in 2018 there was a 66%. So the 26% was great. The 47% was also great in 2005, and then we were actually in 2008 we had a 66%. So something very special happened there. And we were actually dropping the first quarter. But look at what happened in the second quarter. In the second quarter, it was actually 100%. So let me just put this. This is 100%. So this is about, you will see it. It is about, it's a completely drop. It's a completely drop of the, yeah, everything was done. So the first quarter, the second quarter compared to the previous year was 100% drop, no cruise. The third quarter, 99.8% drop. Still. So let's look at the third quarter here. There was anything, and we were expecting 49,000, 35,000, 40,000. So we lost a lot of cruise tourists. And you also see that in our downtown Willemstad, because downtown Willemstad suffered. They are dependent on the cruise ships. So if we take this, this change, if we take this estimate of the future of the next 3 months, October, November, December, we will see that cruise tourists will have dropped by 68%, 68.2% for the whole year. And also the fourth quarter is 99% drop. So cruise tourists, if the same thing stays in the last 3 quarters, we will have 68%, 68.2% drop. So let me show you how you can stay contacted with me, and then we will wrap this episode up. So I want you to consider to join my community for free. It is CaribbeanStrategicBoardroom.com/waitlist. And when you join, you will receive some information from me about why I'm doing this, about my past, about how I can help you, actually, how data analysis and policy can help you. And also you will get more information about my community that I only share with the community. So I want you to go to CaribbeanStrategicBoardroom.com/waitlist, put your name, email in there, and then you will be first notified whenever, as soon as I share what I'm creating right now. If you look at the whole channel, you look at the channel, the past channels, I am showing information for you. And the last 14 days I've been doing this every day. Normally I do it once a week on Friday at 4 o'clock AST, Atlantic Standard Time. But these last 2 weeks I've been doing it every day. So my policy is that I use social media to share information with you. I do not want you only to look at social media only with your friends, etc., but also look at something you can learn. If you are a policy advisor, if you are an economist in the Eastern Caribbean, Turks and Caicos, Jamaica, Curacao, you can learn a lot. This information that I'm sharing with you is mostly, a lot of people pay for them. So I am trying to help you. I'm trying to make you more aware of data, make you more aware of analysis, and then if you join my community, we can work together. We can help each other and work together so that you can advance. So I want to finish with some questions. The question is, what are the challenges that you are having right now with data? What are the challenges that you have regarding with analysis? What are the challenges that you have regarding writing policy notes? What are the challenges that you have regarding presenting policy notes? So you might be a policy advisor, junior policy advisor, or you wanna become a policy advisor for the government, Ministry of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Social Affairs, any Ministry of Tourism. You might be working in Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, Eastern Caribbean, Curacao. What are the problems that you are having? So I will be putting a survey next week, and next week I will be also putting a survey, and if you join my list, you will get that survey for sure. And I will just be asking you a question: what are the challenges that you are having right now? Because based on those challenges, I will be creating the next episodes of this channel. And if I don't receive any challenges, then I will continue, of course. But I would like to talk about your challenges. Caribbean, the islands, the Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, Curacao, Eastern Caribbean. I have created economic models for all those islands, and I know that they have a lot of challenges right now, but I want to know, as a policymaker, as maybe the minister, as a policy advisor, analyst, what are the challenges that you are having right now in creating policy notes, in doing analysis, in gathering data, in presenting data. So that's what I want to know, and I will be asking you through a survey. So 42 minutes. Hopefully you found this valuable. I found it valuable. I updated this data today, and I wanted to present it to you right away. So the same thing which we did today with Curacao, you can do that with other islands, because we have these models for other islands also, for all the other islands that I mentioned. Let me know what you think. Okay, let me know what your challenges are. So that's it. And last thing I want to ask you, please share all these goodies, all these nice episodes with on your wall. If you are sharing these on your wall, I will be checking who is sharing it, and I will be contacted you for something great. So I want to make it a challenge that from right now, when you are here in this episode and you watch an episode, bring your friends and then share it with your friends. Okay? Spread the word. That's it. See you next time, Monday at 4 o'clock.